All right, so I need to get my steps in, and I had to get a video in. I didn't do a preview video on Friday. I just wanted to get through the bye week, just enjoying the win that the Jets had. So we're going to go and start it off. Welcome. This is the takeoff. It is Monday, October 23rd, 2023. It is about, 4:45 p.m. Sorry about that. I put you guys upside down. And a beautiful, brisk fall day here today in New Jersey. Trying to get my steps in, like I said, and just discuss this past week and just discuss a little bit about what's coming up with the Jets this week. So anyway, everybody's eyes, especially if you're a Jet fan, was on scoreboard, on Red Zone, or watching the games. I don't know if anybody actually went out to the Giant game. They were playing the Commanders, and usually that wouldn't be a game that any Jet fans would really care about. But basically, you wanted to see what they were going to come out like, how they were going to play. I mean, they were humiliated. Well, not humiliated. I shouldn't say humiliated, but they lost to Buffalo in a game that could have went either way. Some calls could have went their way. They're out their quarterback. They're, 1-5. Everything's spiraling. Talking about people who coach of the year last year, Danny Dimes, top 10 quarterback. Comeback game against Arizona, and now it's who are we going to draft? Who do we have the first pick? New GM, new coach, new defense, whatever you want to talk about. That was the turn. That was the talk all week. So the Giants came out. They won 14-7. I did not watch the game in the first half. I missed all the scoring plays, actually. But I do know that Tyrod Taylor did throw 2 touchdown passes. One was actually all him, with the pass. The other one was a little swing out pass to Saquon, who took it the rest of the way. Giant defense, okay, they played well. When you hold the opponent to 7 points, that's playing really well. Look, there was some missed opportunities on both sides of the ball. But yesterday on the field, the Giants were the better team. There was some times when the Giants fans got frustrated. I can understand that. But in the end, you take the win, division win, you get to 2-5, and now you have the Jets coming up, and you're still home next week. And I'll get into all that later on in the week with my preview about, the fans and whatnot. Yesterday's win, I really think, saved a lot of Giant fans from selling their tickets for next week. I know if I didn't have anything scheduled for next week, I might have looked at the tickets, but, going all year long and then, buying for extra games, it just gets hard. But so we'll get to enjoy this game from home, and watch it. But so you watch that game to see the Jets, what their opponent looks like for next week. Then you were watching Buffalo, New England. And, I woke up to a text this morning with a meme on it from my cousin Mikey. And it was, you lost to Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, but you're an elite quarterback because you went to overtime and lost to Patrick Mahomes. And basically that sums it up. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Josh Allen. Josh Allen on the Jets makes us a contender, with our defense and the weapons we have on offense. But Josh Allen, with Stephon Diggs and everything he has not played up to the potential that he supposedly has. He has not played up to his reputation, I should say. So in Foxborough, where it's always hard to win, even when New England's not doing well, Mac Jones outplays Josh Allen, basically, and they get the win. It was basically a one-score game most of the game. I went to a 2-score game. Then Buffalo came back, and then in the end, it was Mac Jones leading the team down the field and scoring a touchdown. Listen, I don't think New England's going too far. They're 2-5. They're at the bottom. That's fine with me. Belichick got his 300th win. He also signed an extension to stay with the team. So and not that Belichick can't leave. I mean, he know what he did when he was the head coach of our team. But any type of I guess, conspiracy theory or rumors that he's going to take over for the Giants next year or anything. That kind of went out the window yesterday. He got a stranded win in Foxborough, and he got the extension. The only thing missing was probably Tom Brady being there. But anyway, they get a huge win for not only for themselves, but for the Jets. Because you got to remember, the Jets right now have the tiebreaker over Buffalo. They beat them week 1. We will face them again, I think, in about 4 to 6 weeks in Buffalo. So that is very good. So they dropped down. They are 4-3. So basically, they are a game ahead of us in the win column, half a game ahead of us because we have the tiebreaker. Then you kind of watch, the Mahomes Charger game, the Colts Titans game, because you just want to see who's going to start pulling away from the pack. The Browns, it was the Colts. Was it the Colts and the Browns? Yes, Colts and the Browns. Chargers and I believe Kansas City. Look, Kansas City 6-1. The AFC is going to go through KC and Arrowhead. If you're the second place team or seated a little lower, you want KC to get bounced in that second round. They're going to get the bye that first week. But that's pretty much too far in the future to talk about. So, they wound up winning big yesterday. Of course, it was the Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes show. And it's funny because, all eyes are on Taylor. All eyes are on Taylor. And all of a sudden, Taylor and Brittany have a handshake. So you had to get Brittany Mahomes on camera now, part of that, and she's just an attention hog. I'm waiting for Mahomes' brother now to jump in and, do, all three of them jump up and, body press each other. But anyway, so then you get to the night game, and usually the night games, unless it's a Jet game, I usually don't watch the whole game. I didn't watch last night's game. When I did turn it off, the Eagles were up, I want to say by 2 touchdowns. 2 things. First thing is, Eagles left a lot of points on the board. First few drives, they had a 3rd and short. They ran it, and then they went for a field goal, much to the dismay of the Philly fans. It didn't look like Miami could get anything going. Losing Waddle did cause them to lose, the player who stretches their field. Tyreek Hill can only do so much. And there's talk of Braxton Berrios, and we gave up Braxton Berrios, and we gave up the other guy that went back to KC. So Braxton Berrios, and I liked him on the Jets, and I'll never forgive him for dropping that pass in the end zone in Minnesota, because that's a playoff catch right there. Braxton Berrios is a special teams player, okay? And he is a 3 or 4th wide receiver. He is not your first read on any of the routes. He is not a starting wide receiver unless you go in open backfield. He is a capable 3rd or 4th wide receiver, okay? That's number 1. So not signing him or letting him go or trading him, whatever we did with him is fine with me. It's not a tremendous loss unless you're looking for depth. So Miami wound up losing last night 31-17. I did see 2 things on Instagram today, and I don't know how true they are or if it was just because it was NFL memes. The first thing was a few penalties that weren't called, and there was a play down the field where the defensive back for the Philadelphia Eagles actually grabbed the face mask of a wide receiver playing the ball, and the ball was incomplete, and of course, no flag thrown. The meme went on to say that the referee in question actually is a Pennsylvania native who grew up or lives 40 minutes or 20 minutes north of the Lincoln Financial, and he has been suspended in the past for unethical refereeing. I don't know how true that is, but you know what? This year is the first time in probably 2 or 3 years. I know a few years back, there was some games where the referees did have large results in the outcome. This year is another one. It's been happening a lot. I don't know why they're not graded. I don't know why they're not disciplined, but Hearing afterwards to the team, I'm sorry, the refs missed that one, or the refs called it wrong, does not help. It still goes up as an L. Okay, the turnover is still there. The non-PI or the PI call is still there. So there has to be something done there. There is a human element to it, I get it, but there has to be a way where you can review it. So I think a great example is yesterday. Okay, yesterday, Kansas City. Is it Kansas City? I forgot what game it was. I think it might have been Kansas City. Wait, I'm trying to think. Okay, so it was the Rams game. So I think it was it was the Rams game. They used all their challenges, okay, and the quarterback on the opposing team on 4th and short went quarterback sneak, and he slipped and his knee went down a full yard before the line to gain, and he then stretched out, he reached out the ball, they called it a first down. He was way behind the line to gain. His leg should have been ruled down. They didn't rule it down. McVay did not have a timeout to use, so they cannot go and challenge it, and it was just before the 2-minute warning, so it didn't go upstairs. Something like that. When there is a play that close, there should be a way to whistle down to the ref and say, hey, you missed the spot of the ball. Hey, we gotta, make this right. So I don't know what could be done, but that's the rules. You have to, use your challenges and your timeouts in a strategic way. I get it, but there also has to be a way where if a player is down, a player is down. And it doesn't matter if you have timeouts or not. It has to be ruled correctly. So that is things that maybe the panel that gets together every year could do. Other than that, it was a good day for Jet fans. Let KC win their division. They're at 6-1. You're not gonna catch them. Let New England get their second win and beat the team that's in front of you. Let Philly go out and beat the other team in front of you. So I will take that, a 31-17 win. Listen, Philly is firing on all cylinders. Also, more turnovers last night. I don't know how many more they had. I saw one at least. Jalen Hurts wound up getting strip sacked and losing the ball. So that's 5 that I know of in the last 2 weeks. So we proved they could be beaten. So I wake up this morning, and I'm going to be honest, I'm done with some sports talk, especially the channel I've been listening to. And I'm not going to, berate the channel or say the channel name, but I had to take it off because it goes from discussing sports to just yelling. And if I wanted to do that, I'd just talk to my kids. I'd have an argument with my wife, or I'd discuss with my friends, But it goes from, talking sports and callers calling in to the radio host actually getting mad. So, and I've said this in the past, and you know what, I'm going to call it out. Sal Licata and Brandon Tierney, first of all, their show, it was combined because Carton left. Okay, so they had to realign all the hosts. So Boomer and Gio weren't going anywhere. They have the morning slot. I think they're 6 to 10. And then from 10 to 2 is BT and Sal Licata. And Licata used to do the overnights. And then from 2 to 6, you have Evan and Tiki. So Tiki was taken away from BT, which I thought was a great combination. And you got Licata. So Licata and BT have been fighting probably for the last 2 years. They look alike. They have strong opinions. The only thing is that BT doesn't get obnoxious. Licata, you could call up and say, hey, today is Monday, and he'll have an argument with you for it. He's been down on the Jets, on Aaron Rodgers, and everything. Before Rodgers got hurt, after Rodgers got hurt, everything in between. Whatever the Jets do, if the Jets went out there and put a fire out on a home and saved the whole family, Licata would say, yeah, but they didn't hang the hose up when they were done. That's just him. I don't know if it's just his acting to get more, viewers or more listeners. But it gets to a point where you don't even listen to reason anymore. So everybody calling in today, and the topic was not how good or how bad the Giants are, but does Tyrod Taylor stay in, or does Tyrod Taylor come out for Daniel Jones? I don't know who I want. They could both beat the Jets, and the Jets could probably both contain both of them. It depends on what Jet team comes out. But the discussion today was, who do we want and who's better? And some Jet fans called in, and he actually got mad at the fans calling in and basically harassing or trolling how good they are over the Giants. Now, I don't know if Licata got the memo, but this is a call-in show. Okay, if you don't agree with them, that's fine. Give reason why you don't agree with them. If you agree with them, then, you agree with them. But to get upset because somebody's trolling you, meanwhile, you have the platform. You have the mic in your hand. You have the hang-up button in your fingertip. But you're going to get all bitchy about this? I mean, there's this terrible radio. I actually stopped listening to it. This is probably the second or third day I haven't listened to it. I listened to it the day after the Eagles game that the Jets won, and Licata played it down. He played down Rodgers being on the sidelines. He played, and like I said, he is just right now being a hater, and that's fine. As much as Mad Dog hated the Yankees, he always gave props. I don't get what this show is about. But WFAN, step up your game. Maybe give somebody else some hosting ability. Because right now, if I want to hear two grown men, argue, I go to any bar in the corner and listen to it. That being said, and I know I rambled a little bit, but there wasn't much Jets talk to talk about. That being said, we're looking to see injury report. I don't think the Jets have to give out an injury report now till Wednesday. Hoping that DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner are cleared to play. If you're the Jet defense and you see last night how the Eagles put up 31 on the Dolphins and you held them to 14, and how the Giants put up only 14 to the Commanders, you're looking at yourself going, okay, you contain Saquon, you get after the quarterback, and you know what? I will take a 5 field goal game this week, because 5 field goals would have beaten the Giants yesterday. You don't need Zach to go out there, and not that he's going to be Joe Montana, but you don't need him to be that. Don't turn the ball over. Control the game. Control the clock. Defense, make your moves on the Giants. Special teams step up as well with punt returning. So that leads me to my last part, punt returning. So of course, Gibson was signed. The whole thing at Hard Knocks. They brought him in. He thought he was getting cut, and he gets signed. Of course, week 1, everything seems gloomy. We're going to overtime. He runs back to punt. He doesn't really see much in the offense. And now, after the week against the Patriots, they're opening it up more with Gibson in the offensive playbook. He had a reverse a couple of weeks ago and whatnot. So the Jets get rid of, I think his name was Hardman. They got him from Kansas City, and they sent him back. They traded him back to Kansas City. So yesterday, he returned a punt, 50-something yards. And you got Jet fans just bitching and complaining. We gave him up. What are we going to do? And to me, first of all, he hasn't been part of the game plan since the season started. I don't know how many snaps he took. I think I've taken more snaps as a Jet player. Secondly, you got Gibson, who could play punt return and kickoff return. You have Reggie Cobb, who could do the same. You have some rookies who should be making the team, making their bones on punt returns and special teams. You don't need this kid. You traded him back. I think you're getting a late round pick for him, which is fine. You get trade value out of him. No need to bitch and complain. Even on the off weeks, you have to bitch and complain. Enjoy it. We're in giant preparation now. Trading deadline coming up. Dalvin Cook is said to be on the trading block. as well as Carl Lawson. We shall see. See what Joe D does. He makes those late round trades turn into gold. But of course, that comes in next year and a year after. Right now, you're 3-3, coming off a bye. Hopefully, everybody got healthy. Hopefully, everybody, has their mind preparing for the Giants. Do not just take this team lightly. You have the Giants, and then you have a Monday coming up against the Chargers. So you basically had a 2-week layover before the Giants, and then you have a 7-day or 8-day before you play the Chargers. You have where the schedule now is a little more friendlier, and you got to see what we could do. And let's, Zach doesn't have to be Joe Montana. Zach doesn't have to be, Eli Manning. Zach just has to be Mark Sanchez. And with this defense and special teams, we should be okay, especially at this point of the schedule. I don't like to look ahead, so I'm only looking at the Giant game. There's no reason why they cannot beat the Giants. The Giants are 2-5. Yes, they played 7 games. The Jets played 3. They have 1 less win than the Jets. But you know what? The Jets have proven they can play with the big boys. I don't want to do woulda, coulda, shoulda with the Kansas City game, with the Patriot game, because it is what it is. But the Giants have proven, the Jets have proven what they could do defensive-wise. Zach, he's proven he is not an elite quarterback, but he's also proven he could make some throws. He can make things happen with his feet. So let's hope that he could take that and just expand on it. I'm hoping that this week off, and I hate to say it because people don't want to hear it, especially Sal Licata doesn't want to hear it, that Aaron Rodgers spoke with him and sat with him on this week off, and they went through film and they watched yesterday's game and whatnot. Look, we're not the Kansas City Chiefs, but there's no reason why we cannot make these games mean something. I've said it in my past videos. I said it last week and I said it last year. Under Adam Gase and under the first year under Robert Saleh, games at Halloween didn't really mean anything. The season was basically over. Last year we went after the holidays. Jets had to just win 1 game, they would have made the playoffs. So Halloween, Thanksgiving, and just, not looking ahead, but that Black Friday first game against the Dolphins, 3 o'clock after Thanksgiving, that is going to be some game. So the Jets are in a position that they can make some moves, and there's no reason why they can't if they game plan and strategize and execute. So anyway, that's going to be my video for at least the next couple of days. I will do another video on Friday probably, or Thursday night during the Thursday night game. Tonight is San Fran and I believe Minnesota. I think it's Minnesota for Monday night, and then week 7 is done and we go to week 8, and we are almost at the halfway mark of the season. 17-game season, 18 weeks in the season, and we are at week 8, and it's going by pretty quick. You're looking at Halloween weekend, Jets, Giants, and then, hoodie weather, and your bubble jackets and gloves start coming out, and it's real football weather. Check us out where to take off. You can check us out on Instagram at the New York Jets Takeoff. You can check us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at the Jets Takeoff. Facebook, the Takeoff is our Facebook page. You can email us at thejetstakeoff@gmail.com. We are on TikTok at the New York Jets Takeoff. And of course, subscribe to these videos. We're on YouTube. The YouTube account is the Takeoff. The YouTube account channel, the direct channel, is at the Jets Takeoff. Subscribe, forward, retweet, send us pictures. We got the Giant game yesterday. You're going to the Giant game next week. Let us know what's going on. We'd love to hear from you. And let's enjoy these next few days. I heard the weather's going to be beautiful. And then we get ready. Then the Jets play. Let's go.